Comrade, everyone is celebrating on the so-called alt-right about this victory, this third-place victory of Alternative for Deutschland. Now, what kind of victory is it when your sworn enemy, the childless old lady hag, wins a fourth term? What victory is this? This victory where you get the third biggest party in a coalition where every single party in existence will ally against you unless you have 50% to take the government? What kind of victory is that, comrade? What fucking mad world do you live in? This Germany, this country you believe which was the resistance to globalism, some 70 years ago, this is what it can do for itself? The country where if you question historical events, you are not even allowed to defend yourself, you're simply thrown into prison without any defense, guilty as accused? That is the country that you think has hope because this nationalist Alternative for Deutschland party got third place? Now, comrade, it had to make compromises to win third place. Now, what was the compromise, you may ask? They chose a lesbian of Alex Whittle, to be one of their leaders, to push them forward and lead them. Alex Whittle may be a German, but she is a lesbian, this Alex Whittle. Now, Alex Whittle is lesbian married, but who is she lesbian married to? A Sri Lankan. This leader for a nationalist Germany is a lesbian who is married to a non-white. Now, what kind of chaos is this? What future do you want to save, or do you desire to save? Do you desire to save the German language for economic reasons? Have brown, shuffling lesbians walking about speaking German in some economic zone? Is that the future you want? The future you want to defend? Rather than being swallowed up by the Turks and the Arabs who have more babies than you by having 2.5 babies in your country where you have 1.2? You want to push them out or just invite the lesbian ones in, and you'll have adopted babies with them, and you'll make the Sri Lankans learn German in your economic zone. So you can sacrifice everything that made your culture great to Satan. Put everything up to the altar of the rights of sin so you can be a faggot into annihilation. Because that is the German nationalism that you support. The right to be a faggot. You don't support the right to have children. You don't support the right to a decent wage, to having a family, to existing, to do what God has created for you. You have sacrificed everything on the altar of sin, of the sexual revolution. This is the Europe that stands back and says, I want to exist. This is the Germany who 70 years ago invaded Poland for conquest and now threatens Poland for sanctions for saying that it wants to exist. This is the society you're saving. This is the West you're saving. And irony is, these Nazis you look up to, they were faggots as well, controlled by faggots. Well, now they're just a little bit more pathetic. As the liberal press in the United States says, it is a second time coming, and as Marx said, once is a tragedy, now is a farce. Comrades, salvation can only come from throwing out those who seek to destroy you, those globalists, those shills. Now this woman, this Alex Whittle, she's, ironically enough, not just being a lesbian, she's a former worker at Goldman Sachs. Now, what kind of fucking insanity is that? You're going to rise up against the man with your lesbian former Goldman Sachs worker? Yeah. Great revolution, guys. You're gonna win. You're gonna go to prison for saying this, or just saying AIDS is intricately connected to homosexuality, and anal sex is unsanitary. I just did 2 hate speeches. This, and saying a little biology. Now, Germany, get back up and have another reformation. This time, not to break away from the church, but to even acknowledge the existence of God and His natural order. That's the only way you're going to survive. Hail Nazbol!